There is no guarantee for success, but there are ways to get closer to it when you do the right things. Who you surround yourself with is just as important as what you do. Finding the right people, the right classes, the right activities, and taking the right tests are all decisions that shape your future. Find out more today on Destination University with Dr. Cynthia Colon. Dr. Colon and her guests will give you the tips you need, whether you're a student, parent, or educator. Now, here is your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon.
You're listening to Destination University, a podcast for college-bound teens and those who are champions of college-bound teens. If that is you, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You may know we're running a special series. Throughout the month of April, we like to interview students who have been admitted to college and are dishing out all that they've done right, what they might do differently, and they're also revealing where they're headed to college next year and how they arrived at that decision. Today is part 3 of 3 with Julia. Julia has an embarrassment of riches where she's been admitted to not 1, not 2, not 3, but 7 colleges that admit under 20%. So how did she make the choice as to which one she would select of all 11 that she's been admitted to? She's going to tell you, and gonna spoiler alert right away, but then walk us backwards as to how she came to her final decision. Before we chat with Julia, let's just say a few words about bigfuture.org. They are the application, the app, and the website that you can go to. It's free, it's mobile friendly, and it's a personal guide to the college admission journey. You can learn how to explore careers, plan for college, and also learn how to pay for college. Speaking of paying for college, if you head there and create a free account, you can start to build your list of colleges. With just 6 that you add to your account, you will be eligible for monthly drawings of awards of $500, and they give away 2 $40,000 scholarships every single month. So if you are a junior or rising senior, class of 2023, please be sure to take advantage of that. All right, okay. Star of the show, here we go. Are you ready to reveal?
Yes, I am. I kind of already have.
Okay, here we go.
So, I am going to the University of Chicago in the fall. I will be 2026.
Class of 2026, University of Chicago. Congratulations, bravo. Now, if you've been watching some of the other episodes, you know that I like students to reveal at the very end where they're headed. But this has been a 3-part series because it's so important for me. And thank you, Julia, for being willing to be open and candid about your entire journey and process and have it and break it down for us in 3 parts. So without further ado, why don't you just start by sharing all the colleges that you were admitted to, and if you're comfortable, you can share others that you that were maybe waitlisted, or just share anything about your college list. Go ahead.
Right. So my college list consisted of 20 schools, which is a lot of applications. Like, I was spending so much time working on them, fine-tuning them, combing through them with a fine-tooth comb. And I got admitted to 11 of them, which I am quite proud of. So the ones that I were admitted to, you saw on my little information sheet, a couple of them. So I was admitted to, let's see if I can remember all of them. Okay, UCLA, UCSD, UCSB, UC Berkeley, U Chicago, I'm going there, Cornell, Wellesley, Bates, Fordham, NYU, and then I'm missing one more. Where is it? I can't remember it. It's fine. But the other ones, I was waitlisted at Notre Dame, and I was waitlisted at Northwestern, and I was waitlisted at Amherst.
Okay, so thanks for sharing that, because here's the thing I want to make very clear, that every year that we've worked with different students, and we always have somebody who's been admitted to some top school like yourself, and multiple. But I want to say very clearly that each of those students has also been denied somewhere and or waitlisted somewhere. So to have an above 50% batting or batting range, that is, you did extremely well. So you have a lot to be proud of. So thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Now, so it's now, first, April 1st, and now you have all your letters have come and, and you've read all your emails and congratulatory things. So everybody wants you, right? April is the month that seniors feel the most love of the whole year. Mm-hmm. So now you decide to use your spring break to travel. Dad and you are going to traverse the country, kind of like you did with national parks, right? Yeah. So walk us through in any order that you'd like as to what I'm sure you loved something about every school. Yes. So what did you love about it? And then at the end, really tell us what was it that made you choose Chicago in the end?
Right. So as you said earlier, I had a large amount of options. So I wanted to make sure that I gave every single college a fair shot. There were a couple that I had already sort of latched to already just because of what I had known about them. So I actually got a likely letter early on for a couple of schools. So I already had those admissions in hand in January. So I had already known about those ones. So that gave me extra time in order to research those schools. So those ones had sort of a little bit of a more of a place in my heart, right? Because they had been like, we want you so much that we're going to let you know a month earlier than everyone else. I was like, thanks guys, I appreciate it. So those ones had already been sort of mulling around in here for a while. And as the other ones drifted in, I was like, well, yeah, those other schools did give me a more warm response. The other ones also did too by admitting me, right? So I wanted to make sure that I gave them all a fair chance and to not discount any of my options because every single school had something going for it, right? So first stop was the University of Chicago. So I went to their 3-day admitted students event, which was amazing. I loved it so much. The campus is beautiful. I mean, look at this. It's beautiful. The weather was lovely. I know it is windy most of the time there and it is cold, but I know I'll adapt to it. I'll get a sun lamp. It'll be fine. And then I also loved the faculty that I met, the teachers that I met, the other admitted students that I met, because there were a whole bunch of us there. It was a lot of people. It was so fun. And then after we did that, we explored the city a lot because I wanted to make sure that I got a vibe, right? Because Chicago is very different from LA and that's very different from New York as well. And I had been admitted to a number of schools in each of those cities and I liked all of them, but for different reasons. So I wanted to make sure that I got the energy, if that makes sense. So then after Chicago, which I loved, then we went to Boston and then we went to Wellesley, which I liked, but I did not like it as much as I had liked Chicago, right? Because I had been sort of so, I don't know quite what the word is, but I had been like so overwhelmed by what I had seen at Chicago and sort of the energy of the sort of the vibe on that campus that what I saw at Wellesley wasn't really for me, right? Because, and that's not me saying that to discount Wellesley or to discount any of the schools that I'll talk about in this episode. I think that every school has something going for it. Every school is amazing. Wherever you want to go, it's important that that's your fit, right? Because what I think about a school might not apply to what you think about a school, right? Because everybody has different perspectives. Everybody has a different view of what they're looking for. So when I say that I don't like a school, that's just me saying that I don't like a school. That's not me saying that the school is worth less in your admissions, that you shouldn't consider that school. That's me saying that I didn't like it and I didn't think it was a good fit for me. And that's all I'm saying.
Well, and I also hear you saying that for better or for worse, you started with the University of Chicago, just
top hit.
Because from California, it's the most logical first stop because it's Midwest. And you kind of fell in love. And so once you feel like you found your love, your soulmate, was just basically 11 schools have offered you a hand in marriage, right? Like a marriage proposal.
Yes.
You can only choose one. Again, for better or for worse, you can only choose one. Mm-hmm. So what I hear you saying is Wellesley the bar was set so high, you were so happy that like if it didn't match what you felt at Chicago, it was pretty quickly falling off the list.
Yes.
Okay. So you're in Boston. Where else did you go after Wellesley? Where else did you go?
We went to Cornell after Wellesley. Well, we had hung out in Boston a little bit because we had some time before we had to go to Cornell. So we hung out in Boston for a little bit, explored the city, got the vibe. because I wanted to make sure that I gave them like a fair choice. Maybe Boston, the energy of Boston would make up for what I thought Wellesley had been missing. It ultimately was not, but I thought I would give it a shot. And then we went to Cornell, and I, again, did not feel the same energy, the same feeling that I felt when I was at Chicago. Like when I was there, I felt like I was at home. I felt like these were my people. I felt like I made so many friends there, even just from like 5 minutes of talking to them, right? Because they're all very sort of intellectual, very open to new ideas, very diverse. They're from so many different areas, and that was really important to me. And so when I was there, I felt at home. And at the other schools that I visited, that wasn't quite the same, especially at Cornell and Wellesley. Those were at the bottom of my list for that. And then we went to New York. So we visited, so we visited Fordham, which was close. That came pretty close. It was a beautiful campus for starters. The people that I met there were also quite nice. And the New York obviously is a great city. What it ultimately came down to is academic rigor for me, because I know that University of Chicago has a justified reputation for being quite difficult. And I think that I can handle that. And I think that I will thrive in that environment the most, because I am very ambitious, very sort of go-getter-y. I don't know if that's a word, but we're just going to pretend like it is. And so I figured that somewhere that is as academically rigorous as Chicago will give me a better education than I would necessarily get, for me at least. And then we also went to Bates, which is in Maine, which was lovely. It was beautiful there. That was also in my my top 3 that we visited. I really liked the campus. Again, it was beautiful, but it is in rural Maine, and from a practical standpoint, it is extremely difficult to get from Los Angeles to Maine. It's very hard, and I wouldn't have a car, so there are no taxis up there, so I don't even know how I would end up getting home if I went there, right? Because it's so far from where I live. And I think it was important for me to go visit the campus so that way I could see that for myself.
Yeah, I think that's interesting that you pointed out, because again, it sounds like you were more interested in sort of city schools as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like you also, did you visit NYU and Holy Cross? Was that?
Yeah, NYU and Holy Cross. Yes. Okay. So NYU, their whole thing is that New York is their campus. And I thought that I would like that because, as I said, the pattern had been, with the exception of Bates, the pattern had been city schools. So I thought that I would like that when I applied there, when I was looking at their promotional material. I was like, oh, this might be a fit for me. But I was, again, mistaken. And I think that it was important for me to go see the school myself and sort of go there in order to know that. And then Holy Cross was lovely. It's in Worcester, Massachusetts. Worcester. I never can pronounce that. It's in Worcester, Massachusetts. It's a Jesuit school, as is Fordham. And again, as I said, I am Catholic. So I thought that maybe their sort of whole thing would help foster my faith and everything, right? Because they have a large Catholic population there as well. And I liked it as well, but again, the academic rigor, it came down to that. And so ultimately, when I would go to all these schools, I would ask myself, do they have what Chicago has? And then I would ask my tour guide, do you have this cool thing that Chicago has? And they would be like, no, I'm sorry, we don't. And I was like, right. Mm-hmm. So then it was just sort of, because I had started out with like the best, my number one, everything else sort of fell short of my expectations because they had been raised so high by what I had seen at Chicago. And my advice for you guys who are watching is 2 things. Thing 1, visit the schools, because what you think you want might be wrong, as I am proof of with a couple of the schools that I applied to. And thing number 2, I know that a lot of people in this college admissions process, they want prestige. They want the biggest name school. They want that sort of boost to your ego of, I got into this school that like no one else got into, right? But that kind of school might not be for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own fit. And you taught me this because I was one of these people. You told me that I need to find a fit that's right for me. And I know that I did. And I am so excited in order to learn more and go to school in Chicago and get to know the people. And I think it's going to be an amazing 4 years. So.
One of the things I just love that you said the most of everything is that at Chicago, now I also want to say, I hope it's okay to say that Chicago was one of the schools that you got an early notification. So they clearly, I mean, and I have other clients that also applied to Chicago, and they didn't, when I heard from you, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because they didn't all get that same early notification. So they clearly wanted you, I saw something in your application early on, and they wanted you to marinate on this idea of Chicago for a lot longer. So that may have played a role, but it sounds like you ultimately discovered that you liked city, but that you also like a campus within a city.
Yes.
Which is different from NYU, which is different, you know, so the two big city schools, you know, were very different. Chicago has a traditional campus.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you said was, I found my people. And I cannot emphasize enough. So I think that's another one of the things that we shared, that I said, when you go, you have to think to yourself, are these students that are not just like who I am today, but are they aspiring to be the type of person I want to be 4 years from now, right? And that's really important, that when you go to college, there's a saying in Spanish, dime con quién andas y te digo quién eres, which is basically who you surround yourself with is ultimately who you become, or who you are.
Right.
And so that's what Julia was looking for. And for whatever reason, in those first 3 days of the trip, she'd found her soulmate.
First try.
Like first try. Okay, I was once married, and I found my wedding dress like it was the second dress I tried on. I was like, I'm done. That's it. So that's very much what happened with you. So, oh my goodness, what a story.
Yes.
Okay, so mom, dad, they're super happy.
Yes.
Right? I mean, dad was with you, and did he know pretty early on?
He did. I think he did. Because whenever I would be like, I'm not sure, he was like, it's no Chicago, is it? And I was like, he knows me. So yeah, I think that I'm really excited. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, before we close up, are there any parting words that you'd like to say? Any last bits of advice, or any? I like your list. If you have a list of 2 things that you might say as we say goodbye.
I think I have 3 things. Thing 1, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you sort of hearing what worked for me, what didn't, and if you can take these tips and apply them to your own application, then great. I wish you all the absolute best, right? And thing number 2 is, this is an advice solely for the students who are watching this. Appreciate your parents, right? Because they're the ones who have given you the opportunities in order to apply to these schools, right? They're the ones who are paying for your application fee. They're the ones who have gotten you involved in extracurriculars. So please be kind to your parents, okay? I know I sometimes struggle with that, but it's really important. So that's thing number 2. And thing number 3 is go see the schools. Go see them, okay? Because you don't want to go to a campus the first time when it's your first day, because you could hate it and have no idea because you didn't go see it. So go see the campuses if you can. Go on a virtual tour. They sometimes have virtual tours. So It's not like, oh, I can't go see the school because I'm in class right now. I can't do that. There are virtual tours. You can see the school. So see the school, please. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Sound advice from Julia, class of 2022 from high school, and now class of 2026 for the University of Chicago. Congratulations, Julia. You deserve everything that came to you, and I'm so excited for the University of Chicago to have you. Okay, stay tuned. Right now, we're going to wrap up, and then we'll wave goodbye. Did I tell you were in for a treat? I mean, really. If this episode has in any way fueled your confidence or helped to build your dreams, please share this episode with 3 people in the next 30 minutes. Parents, if you are out there, please support the dreams of your children. That is one of the messages that really Julia shared, also specifically in episode 2. Join us on our Facebook group, Destination University with a YOU, because the destination is not university, the destination is you. And speaking of, we didn't talk about this much, but Julia is an essay camper, an alum of Essay Camp. And so if you are interested in joining Essay Camp, Julia was one of our gold members, our gold campers. And what happens with that is that she was able to stay connected with me throughout her fall, throughout her whole senior year, through a Marco Polo app, and got extra support from our team. So if you're interested in Essay Camp, you can go there now. Registration is now open, drcynthiacolon.com/Essay Camp. Okay, everyone. Oh, my goodness. That was great. Part 3 of 3. If you did not watch the other 2, please go back and watch those. All right, let's wave goodbye, everyone. Wherever you are, may you have a happy and sunny day. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for listening this week to Destination University. Be sure to join Dr. Cynthia Colon again and get one step closer to your success.